Computer. Hello, and welcome to our hip and leg and honestly like lower back mobility we're going to find. So today it's probably going to clock out at about a 20-minute gentle mobility session. I'm going to have you grab a pillow or a block if you'd like it for your back for some poses. It's totally optional. I won't be using one, but some days when my legs are tighter, I find that it's helpful just to have kind of to assist, maybe even two pillows to put under your knees at some point. So if you need to, pause the video, go grab your props, and then come on back. Again, even just doing a little bit of this, so if you like come into it and you're like, I don't have a full 20 minutes, a little bit of mobility goes a really long way. And just as that reminder before we get started, when we are looking at especially stretch, we want to hit like 50% of a stretch. We never want to be in a place where we're holding a stretch so tight that we're like gasping for air, like we really feel this, right? We want it to be gentle. We want to be able to breathe easily, and we're going to have a lot of poses where we just sort of hold, find that breath, and give our body opportunity to release. So without further ado, go ahead, make your way down to your back, finding Shavasana or corpse pose. So just all the way flat. Already you might find that you want to take a little bend if you're feeling a little tight in the low back, bend in the knees rather. Taking up some space on this mat. Shut the eyes down. Legs go wide, arms go wide. Take a moment to roll the shoulders down your back, feeling yourself settle into the ground. Closing the eyes so we can do a couple different things here, tuning inwards. First bit, just starting to notice your breath, noticing the quality of it, maybe taking a hand to the belly so that we have an anchor to really sink those deeper diaphragmatic breaths, especially if we're coming at this towards the end of our day or in the middle of the day. We might find that our breathing is pretty shallow, getting caught in the chest. A lot of our day we spend breathing more shallow into that heart space. So really just trying to take a few rounds of breath, filling the belly with air, little to no movement in the chest, and then exhale, belly button falls towards the floor. Another thing to consider here with those eyes closed down as we go inward is just to check in with a quick body scan. See how your body's feeling. Maybe there's tension in the low back. Maybe the shoulders are sort of creeping towards the ear. We take a moment to shimmy them down. Maybe we notice we're holding tension in the face. Just soften through all the muscles of the face up into the scalp. One body part at a time, getting heavier into the floor. The feet fall heavy. The legs fall heavy. The hips fall heavy. The sits bones, the low back, the mid back, upper back and shoulders fall heavy. Chest gets heavy into the floor. Upper arms, forearms, back of the hands melting into the ground. The neck gets a little heavier, the face, the scalp. Taking a moment to really sink into this space. Taking one more big full breath into the belly. On the exhale, start to move your feet together, legs go wide, sort of in this butterfly position. This is the first place you might find that you want a pillow, maybe to set underneath your low back, maybe two pillows or blocks to set underneath your knees. This can create a lot of tension. We want to think of the hip bones rolling up to the bottom of the rib cage. It feels okay. Maybe we take a little bit of a cactus shape to 90-degree angles up in the chest area. Finding this big, expansive, opening posture. Everything in that front line starts to get heavy against the floor, opening up, creating space in the front of the hips, in that groin area, into the insides of the legs. The chest starts to open. Notice if there's a tendency to sort of bow the rib cage towards the ceiling and just gently kind of guide that rib cage towards the floor. Again, thinking of scooping those pelvises under hip bones up to the bottom of the ribs. One more big expansive breath in this front line. Exhale, soften. On that inhale, we're going to use the hands to fold the legs, bring the knees together, walk the feet to the outside of the mat. We're going to do opposite. So maybe shift the hips underneath, knees clanked together center, and then arms are just going to wrap around the chest. So now we're getting a little introverted. We just opened up. Now we're bringing it back in. Maybe tuck the chin to the chest, opening up through the outsides of the hips, breathing into the belly, but also feeling the back expand here into the earth. A little stretch through those outer hips. This is a really restorative posture that we can find at any time in bed while we're watching Netflix and chill. It's a great way to decompress from days of sitting, getting a little length in the low back. Taking one more big full breath in here, and on the exhale, unwinding your arms, and if it feels okay, pulling one leg and then the other into the chest. If it feels kind of tight on the low back, you can always keep one leg down and just go for one leg. Starting just with a gentle rock side to side. So nothing big. Remember, today is all about gentle. I'm not ramming myself all the way to the floor and then to the other. I'm literally just bringing a little bit of mobility into that mid-low back. If this feels okay, go ahead and grab one shin with each hand, keeping your low back down on the floor. We're just going to take little circles, taking our legs out, around, and in. Back up to the belly button, spread them out, around, knees connect, drawing back up to the belly button. Again, you can do this with just one leg here. If you do, just make sure to switch after about 3 circles so you hit both legs. Keeping that low back down. We're not shifting through the pelvis. We're just working into those hip joints. We're going to go opposite direction. So knees to the belly button, legs go down, out, and around. Again, if you're going single side, do about 3 on each side so that you're hitting both evenly. Still focusing on those hip bones coming up to the bottom of the ribs, breathing here, just getting some mobilization into that hip girdle. Good. One more big rotation in, big breath in, hug the legs into the chest, exhale, release. We're going to hold on either to the inner thighs, or if we have the bottoms of the feet, we're finding happy baby here. So again, you can hold on to those inner thighs or insides of the foot, or rather outsides of the foot, bottom of the foot, opening those knees up towards our armpits, really wrapping our low back to the floor so we're not lifting the hips off the ground, pressing the legs into the hands, hands into the legs, and just taking a moment to arrive in this space, really using this to both open up through the hips, but also starting to connect to that pelvic floor. This can be a really restorative posture to release through the pelvic floor. So breathing in, feeling that expansion. Exhale, feeling that lift, that Kegel activation through the pelvic floor. Inhale, finding release. Exhale, finding that expansion, or excuse me, exhale, finding a little contraction. Maybe straightening one leg and the other, noticing your shoulders are creeping up, relaxing them down. Beautiful. One more big breath and happy baby here. And then we're going to hold on to our right leg and we're going to let our left leg go down to the floor. Again, you might want to find a little pillow underneath that left leg to lift it up if those hip flexors are really tight. And we're just going to breathe into the single leg happy baby. Again, we can be holding at the thigh, holding at the foot, really anchoring down through that right hip so we're not rolling. Big breath in here. Exhale, release. Big inhale. Start to bend the knee, hold on to the shin, and shift the leg to the middle of the chest. So we're holding it right in that midline. Again, left leg is flat on the floor. Maybe we're flexing it to stay nice and active. We're just going to do a little bit of stabilization into that sacroiliac or SI joint. So I'm going to bring my fingers together, interlace them, and I'm going to press my shin into my hands and pull my hands into my shin. I don't want to, of course, lift through my shoulders. I'm just creating tension. Big breath in, press the shin into the hands. Exhale, release, pull the hip into the chest. Again, inhale, press the shin into the hands, create that basket to text, catch it. Exhale, release, bring the knee into the chest. Again, pressing into the hand, really finding stabilization into that hip joint, creating tension up in that flexor, and release. Let's go one more just like that. Big press in. And release. Now listen carefully. If you've got a history of low back pain, I want you to bend your left knee and go for a twist with both legs. You might even put your pillow to catch your left leg so that you're not going into as deep of a twist. If you're all clear to find a twist as is, no low back pain, gently guide that right leg over to the left. Either way, we're finding that twist. And as always, if something doesn't feel good, skip it, right? If that twist is a little too extreme today, get it out of there. Just find yourself back to that happy baby. Right shoulder is down the back and anchoring into the floor. My left leg is either bent or long against the ground, and I'm not pulling my right leg. I'm just letting gravity naturally find that position where I'm not pulling, but I'm feeling that nice rotation, breathing into the rinse of the spine. Exhale, letting it go. One more big inhale. Exhale, gently guide yourself back up to center, knees into chest, little rock side to side, finding that happy baby one more time. Again, maybe going for the bottoms of the legs, bottoms of the feet, flexing the feet, big breath in. Exhale, soften, and slowly let go of that right foot, maybe sliding a pillow underneath the right leg to lift it a little bit if you need for that hip flexor, otherwise grounding both hips on the floor, finding your single leg happy baby on the left side, big breath in. Exhale, softening. Again, another breath in. Exhale, start to fold the knee, guiding it in towards the middle of the chest, finding that basket shape, interlacing the fingers. We're going to press the knee into the hand, or shin rather, shin into the hand. Keep the low back down. Exhale, release, draw that leg a little higher into that chest. Inhale, press the shin into the hand. Low back is down, feeling that tension in the hip, creating that resistance, stability through the SI joint, and then exhale, release. 2 more times, just like that. Big drive in. And exhale, release. Beautiful. One more, just like that. Big drive, shin into hand, and release. Setting up for the twist over to our right, maybe getting that pillow to set on our right side, maybe bending that right leg. Otherwise, finding that twist as is, gently guiding left leg across, anchoring down to that left shoulder. Again, we don't want to pull on our back muscle here. We want it to feel really supported. So find that bend, add that pillow, give yourself something where your body can relax. If we feel like we're forcing the twist, we're going to actually just forcing those muscles to hold on tighter, and we want to find that release. If it feels okay, eyes go over to the left, cactusing through the left arm, breathing all the way down, big full breaths to the base of the spine. Exhale, release. One more nice big inhale here. Exhaling, guiding yourself back up to center. One more big hug. And then cross the ankles and find your way into a tabletop. You can roll to the side. You can go up and down the spine a few times, whatever feels good, making our way into cat-cow. So thinking of those nice active hands, pointer fingers are in that number 11. My shoulders are above my wrists. My knees are below my hips. I'm gripping through my hands. I'm going to inhale, drop my belly, lift my hips, shoulders drawing down towards my back pockets. Exhale, tipping my tailbone under all the way, one vertebra at a time till chin is on chest, hands and knees pulling apart energetically. Now I'm going to lead with my hip bones. I feel the spread in my butt cheeks. I'm dropping the belly. I'm rolling one vertebra at a time. My shoulders round back and down my spine. Eyes are up. Exhale, squeeze the tailbone underneath, really articulating one vertebra at a time. Breath to movement here. Closing the eyes, really feeling that articulation in the vertebra. Taking about 20 seconds here just to explore other movements that feel good in this cat-cow. It could be rotations through the spine. You could shift your hips back and forward, bringing it to child's pose and extending a little bit past the fingertips. You can do 4 corners, going right hand, left thigh, right thigh. Flipping the palms, whatever feels good here. Close the eyes and just play around with what your body is asking for. Starting to find the tabletop in 3, 2, and setting up in that tabletop. Beautiful. We're going to find a half lunge. So if it feels better, you can put a pillow or fold your mat underneath. We're going to go ahead and take our right foot forward into a half lunge position. So take a second to set up. I'm spiraling my right hip back. I'm squeezing my left glute forward, and I'm feeling a stretch in that right hip flexor. My hands are going to be on my thighs, or I can put them on my hips. I just don't want to put them on my knee here. I'm going to continue to squeeze my glutes forward until I find that nice, strong stretch that I can breathe through in the front of that back leg. Again, really thinking of using that left glute to drive that hip forward. Big breath in. Exhale. One more big inhale here. Exhale, dropping the hands, maybe taking a second to grab your blocks or pillows and putting them under your hands. We're going to start to shift the hips back, walking the right foot forward slightly into a half split. On this one, we want to keep a bend in that knee. We want to pull that hip bone back. And again, it's about where we feel the stretch. So for some of us, we feel that stretch sooner than others. Some of us, it takes us a little bit more time to find it. Once we arrive, tipping the chin to the chest, taking a big full breath into the belly. Good. Let's take one more big breath in, feeling that stretch. Exhale, we start to rebend through the front foot. Maybe we start to bring that foot back a little bit. I'm going to heel toe my right foot to the outside of my mat. So I'm going to take my foot nice and wide. I'm going to bring my hands to the inside of my leg, and I'm going to find lizard. So I'm going to open up through my right hip. I'm going to squeeze down through my back glute, my left glute, and I'm going to open my heart like I'm in cat-cow. For some of us, this may be perfect. There's a slight turnout at my right foot. I'm feeling a big stretch on the inside of my right thigh and my left hip flexor. If we have the range of motion, you can play around with putting one or both elbows down. Again, this is a pretty significant range of motion, so listen to your body here. If where you are is perfect, stay there. If you have a little bit more range of motion, you can kick the left heel up and reach for it with your right hand. Again, these are variations to build on if you've had a practice for a while. Some days my range of motion is great. Other days my range of motion is lacking severely. So my practice changes day to day. Whatever shape you're in, if you have the foot, release it. If you're on the elbows, slowly make your way back up. We start to shift and shimmy our right foot back to center, bringing it back to tabletop, anchoring our hands, and we're just going to take a moment to circle through that hip. So we're going to take the right heel, kick it to our butt. We're going to lift the heel up, or excuse me, the knee up, open to the side, bring it back and down. Lifting up, around, and down. Small movements, again, just getting into that hip flexor. Good. And then we're going to go other direction. Out, up, and in. Out, up, and in. Good. One more big circle here. Bring the knees or toes together, knees wide, press it back, child's pose. If that doesn't feel great on your low back, you can always bring the knees together, just taking a breath, shaking out the wrists. And exhale, let's make it back into that tabletop. So big breath in. We're actually going to start with the hip circles on the left side this time. So we're going to kick the left heel into the butt. We lift the knee, open it to the side, and bring it down. Lift, out, and around. Belly button tipping or pulling up and in. Pulling those hip bones together in front of the body. So we're really practicing that scoop. And other direction, active through my hands. I'm not collapsing in my hands at all. I'm thinking of really lifting my back up like I'm trying to stamp the full spine on the ceiling. Beautiful. Last circle here. Big breath in. Maybe fold the mat under the right knee. If you need to bring a pillow there, we're going to step our left leg forward, setting up for our low lunge on this side. So again, I like to start with my hands on my hips once I'm all set. I'm going to draw my left hip back and squeeze my right butt cheek forward. Pull my hip bones together in front of my body. So I'm really feeling the stretch in the front of that right leg. Again, hands can be on the thigh. They can be on the hips if you want to grab blocks because you're feeling a little unstable today, or if you want to use a wall assist. The goal is to really stretch through the right hip flexor. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze out right glute. One more big breath in. Exhale, coming down, framing that front foot. Start to shift your left hip back, setting up for that half splits. Maybe shifting our foot forward slightly, drawing that left hip back so we feel the stretch in the entirety of that left leg. Little bend in that leg. Again, some of us have a big bend when we feel the stretch. Some of us are going almost fully straight. Everybody's body is different. Keep flexing the foot, so pinky toe towards the face, chin to chest. That way we're really getting to the calf as well. Big full breaths. Open mouth, let it go. One more big full breath in. Exhale, start to rebend gently through that foot, or excuse me, the knee. Heel toeing that left foot out to the edge of the mat, turning out slightly at the left foot. I'm going to squeeze my right butt cheek down. I'm going to pull my left hip back, finding lizard on this side. So same rules apply. First, this might feel great. You're like, wow, I'm feeling a pretty good stretch here. Hang out. Next layer, if you want, you can bring it to one elbow or the other. Again, we're not pushing ourselves into any positions we don't have control or breathability over. And then the final layer, kicking that right heel into the butt, opening up through the left arm if that is in our practice, just getting a little bit deeper into the right hip flexor. Again, there's no wrong answer except the one that puts your body in danger. So wherever you're at today is the right answer. Big breath in. Exhale. Big breath in. If you have the foot, slowly release it. If you're on the elbows, gently come up. All of us are shimmying that foot in towards center. And then we're going to walk that foot back and we're going to find a kneeling position if that feels okay. We're going to take our toes. This one's pretty extreme, so if you want to just hit child's pose, that's a-okay. We're going to take our toes, plant them into the ground, and then we're going to sit back on our heels. Our knees are going to be together roughly if you need to take a little bit more space. So we're doing a toe stand. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I've got my toes bent behind me, folding, stretching through the fascia of the foot. My hands are on my shins, or excuse me, my thighs. I'm scooping my tailbone under, my shoulders are down the back. Again, if this doesn't feel great, come out of it at any time. This is one that over time, I literally had to do it like every night for a while before I could hold it for even like 15 seconds. Our feet are the base of everything we do though. So the more that we can articulate into the foot, into the ankle joint, the healthier that whole skeleton is. Big breath in. If you're still there, bring it into tabletop, flip the toes, little kick outs through the feet. Now we're going to keep the toes down. So shoelaces on the floor, sit on the heels this way if that feels okay. And if you're feeling all right here, maybe we're already starting to feel a stretch in the shin or the hip flexor, squeeze the butt, keep the core active. You can bring the hands gently behind you on the fingertips, scoop the hips up, set them down. Again, you might start feeling a stretch in the top of your legs here. If you have a little bit more in your practice, you can press down to the front of your foot, little lifts through the right knee, little lifts through the left knee. These are super duper small, just stretching into the front of the foot, the top of the ankle. Good. One more big breath here, whatever shape we're in. If you're leaning back, come up to seated, shifting your hips over to one side, sending your legs out long, beautiful little shake out here. We're just going to take a little bit of mobility through our ankles. So I'm going to have us roll all the way down. So however you want to get to your back, if you want a little core, go ahead and butt walk up till your feet are at the top of your mat. And then roll down slowly. If you're like, not today, Kinsey, I'm just here to stretch, just make your way down to your back. Good. All the way down. Shoulders down our back. Again, finding our way into Shavasana. But before we find that final resting posture, we're going to use our feet to draw the entire alphabet. We're going to do capital letters. So with our toes, we're going to trace the letter A, B, C. We're working into those ankles. D, E, F, capital G, H, noticing if there's a letter I, where we don't have the range of motion, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's one of those ankle mobility movements, maybe little circles that we snagged from our PT friend, but it brings tons of mobility into the ankles. Give your legs a little shake, your hips a little rock. Ankles are another thing that we really keep locked in a fixed position all day long, but they support the entirety of our skeleton. That alphabet is a great one just to kind of sneak in. I like to do it in bed every night. Taking a moment here, if you want to bring the knees into the chest one last time, if you want to find one of the other postures we did in the beginning, the legs open or knees together, find your way there. Close your eyes down. We're just going to take 3 big cleansing breaths together. Hand, one on your belly, one on your chest, into the nose, fill the belly. Pause at the top. Sip in a little more air. Open mouth. Let it go. Again, breathing into the belly all the way full. Holding at the top. Sipping in a little more air. Open mouth, let it go. Last one, in through the nose. Fill that belly all the way up, hold. Sip in a little more air. Open mouth, let it go. And congratulations, just like that, you spent 24 minutes mobilizing your hips, legs, and low back. Like I said at the beginning, even if you were to just do a part of this or incorporate one of these flows into like your bedtime routine or after your workouts, you're going to feel a lot more open, more spacious. It'll counteract all the sitting we do in the middle of the day or during the day. It's going to be really great for long-term payoff. Little goes a long way. Great work today. I'm so proud of you for showing up, and I will see you again next Sunday for our Mobility Sundays. Woohoo! Bye-bye.